was a huge scandal in Ireland and the UK regarding Burger King and their all-beef patties. It turns out their all-beef patties included traces of pork and horse meat. Right. So I don't even understand how this happened, but actually I do understand how it happened. The supplier in this case was looking to put filler into the all-beef patties, and the filler in this case ended up being pork and horse meat. Now, we don't know which parts of the pig, and we don't know which parts of the horse, but if it was used as filler, I'm guessing it's not prime cuts of meat.
Yeah.
So Burger King, as soon as the story broke, they're like, we're going to investigate and we're going to find out what happened. And they did find out, yes, there were some traces. And here's what they had to say in response to that. We have established that Silvercrest, which is their supplier, used a small percentage of beef imported from a non-approved supplier in Poland. They promised to deliver 100% British and Irish beef patties and have not done so. This is a clear violation of our specifications, and we have terminated our relationship with them.
Wow. Well, you know what? I mean, there's so many reasons why I went vegan, and I'm definitely not going to take, this opportunity to preach why I went vegan. But, I think once somebody educates themselves, not only on, this is the least of their worries. There's so many of these stories that we aren't even aware of. I mean, first of all, the little grill mark on those patties is fake. So when you get your hamburger and you see that it's just come fresh off the grill, that's actually made in the factory. That marking. And here's the thing too with the horse meat. If somebody wants to eat horse, then go, you can eat horse. I'm not going to eat horse, and I don't agree with it, but you can eat horse. But here's the thing with this, with a lot of these farms in Poland or even here in the States, the horses aren't raised as meat. So they do have a lot of contaminants in them. It's not even viable for dog food. So it's when you hear people say, oh, it's just it's a horse. Actually, I've eaten horse before. Horse is great. They're not really understanding the fact that these aren't the horses that you would want raised for meat.
Yeah.
There's so many contaminants in them.
Now, Burger King, to be fair, and of course this is just their claim, are saying that the meat that was served, even though it had traces of horse and pig, it wasn't unsafe and it did not pose a public health risk.
I can guarantee you that horse meat had chemicals in it. Even though you're right, they said it was not tainted. I can guarantee you that it had chemicals in it.
No, well, I guarantee you the beef has chemicals in it.
Exactly.
That's just the way that our food system works. Right. This is factory farming and everything. They pump it with hormones, pump it with chemicals.
And it's so inhumane. And I think that was the one reason that after I'd educated myself on how especially places like Burger King and McDonald's treat animals, it no longer became appetizing for me to consume them knowing how inhumanely they're treated.
How long have you been a vegan?
I was vegetarian for quite some time. I think I've been vegetarian since 2000, right when I graduated from UCLA. And then I became vegan, let's say about 6 years ago.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the typical ignorant, non-vegan questions.
Where do you get your protein from?
No. I'm going to ask you that off air. But what I wanted to know is, do you ever get cravings for meat?
Yeah, and never for meat. I've never gotten a craving for meat. There are a lot of meat supplements that actually taste just like meat, where I've eaten it and I'm like, this is meat.
Yeah.
And it was really unappetizing for me because it tasted so similar to meat, texture-wise, flavor-wise. So if you are a meat eater and you do want to become vegan, there are options out there for you. And as far as protein goes, there's such a misinformed propaganda out there coming from the meat industry that if you're vegan or if you're vegetarian, that you're not going to get your daily source of protein, when in all actuality, from something like a superfood like quinoa or even spinach has more more protein per gram than a piece of meat. So it's just if you want to do it, I'm not about to, I have a husband that loves meat and I actually cook meat for him because that's his choice. My choice is not to eat it, but I do recommend that people do take the time to educate themselves on what really is going down in some of those factories because it's sad.